I'd like to introduce you all to the CEO and co-founder of Wevolve, Jory Davis.
All my time is spent focused on the freedom now. Like that training when I heard that I could be here now. They shut the doors on, and they can read it now. This copyright keep on telling me I need it now. They trying to box me out while taking what they want from me. How y'all doing? I am Jory Davis, a professional athlete of 13 years in 9 countries, and also the CEO and founder of Wevolve. However, my journey didn't start there. Every decision I've made since the age of 6 years old was dedicated to the game of basketball. However, little did I know that there would be a major decision I needed to make that wouldn't be my own. It came to one deal, one contract, and one person with no other options that would dictate my financial and my career path. And unfortunately, you know, when you're uninformed in the decision you want to have done so well, it feels like you're choking. And millions of athletes around the world deal with this. Contract-seeking athletes deal with this choking feeling globally. And a business model that was built for Babe Ruth, not Serena Williams. Would I do it all over again? Yes, don't get too sad on it. But I would do it differently. And I would do it with a platform like Wevolve, where we are revolutionizing contract decision making for athletes. It's not just me. It's bigger than me, way bigger than me. And I need you all to tap in because this is serious. Athletes don't have the tools to make informed decisions. Fans are using data to make great decisions on who they're going to bet on. Teams are making decisions on when they're going to cut me. I don't have the data to make a decision on the things that matter most to me. So you say, why now, Jory? 30 for 30, going broke. All these things exist. Why now? But the difference is we're changing, we're becoming different. Kevin DeBron is the first example where he used a data analytics company. He put his agent on the side and said, help me discover my worth. It increased his salary by 40%. Athletes around the world globally, 91% say they want collective representation independent of governing bodies and organizations. On average, an athlete is going to go through 6 agents, middlemen, whatever you want to call it now. NIL is usually middlemen, handlers, that's what we call them in our industry. And 30% or less of them actually are lawyers. But we're dealing with 30 plus contracts through our years, through our career. That's something that needs to change. My co-founder, 2 women, have gone all around the world for 25 years combined, playing pro in 10 countries. We've dealt with 10 agents collectively, 60 plus contracts from amateur all the way to pro. And we realized when we look back, everything that was being done, we talked to our little cousins and our friends, was the same. But the industry was talking about Web3, blockchain, tracking model. We were like, wait. So we decided to evolve. And we said we can't do it alone, we all must be evolved. And we learned about a thing called AI, and that's when we said, oh, it's time, it's on and popping. Now, we are the first digital contract advocate for athletes, contract-seeking athletes that want to be self-reliant and choose who they want to be on their management teams. Now, they can take agency over their careers and go from confusion to clarity. They don't just sign any deal, they sign the best deal. They don't get played, they get paid. They know very well who they're hiring now with a click of a button. So, where the fun comes in, well, why are you different, Jory? Come on, what you talking about? All right, open, they can go on ChatGPT. No. We're training our AI model on thousands of contract data and contracts that are given to us by the athletes. That's different. They will know what their contracts mean, we'll benchmark it for them, and we'll help them do diligence with everyone in that contract. So how you gonna do this? Because the industry not gonna let y'all make more money. No. Well, there's 3 P's. Pushing P. I love that song. Proximity. We are 1 degree of separation from our community. We're 2 degrees of separation from football, handball, and those athletes. What that does for us, pace. That cuts down our go-to-market and our costs in half. 20% of athletes when they retire become entrepreneurs or small business owners, and that number is increasing. 81% of them said, I don't get constant communication from my organizations, my past agents, or people that I worked with when I was power. Yesterday, Natara Brandt said, success is the greatest revenge. There are a lot of retired athletes that are a little bitter, but they didn't get their revenge when they finally sat down and said, dang, I didn't get my due share. Those ambassadors are who we're gonna go after. They have micro networks right now, and they have small businesses that would love a SaaS solution like this to integrate. Those player associations that have been underserved for so long, not talking NBA, PA, NFL, PA, they make some money. That's what might change too, but that's our go-to-market strategy. That is very different than any of our competitors. Our sales model, those channels I just said, that's how we'll activate our SaaS subscription. And when we learn our athletes deeply, we'll then unlock enterprise opportunities. This market is huge. You guys know that. That's why so many of you here want to work in sports. But guess what? The employment of athletes is going to go 36% by 2031. Esports, 3x3, women in sports. It is growing rapidly, and those athletes will be dealing with contracts consistently. Women's and men's basketball, non-major league alone, is a $2 billion opportunity. That's how much we generate in salaries, and many of you probably don't even know where some of those leagues exist, but there's money being made. That alone shows you the opportunity here. Again, I told you, our models, how we train them, actual athlete contracts, is our advantage and what makes us different, but most of all, outside of just the AI, this is a brand, this is a movement. This is something athletes want to get behind. It's not just some tech that someone else will come and do it. We are actually built by athletes for athletes. You can check our stats. You can check the resumes. It's not just a pitch. It's actually 100 years combined of experience on the field and in the sport business. Lawyers are on our side. CTO advisors that's like, let's do this. I want to be on the side of history that's a little different. And we have athlete entrepreneurs that are building adjacent to Evolve. When you think Wu-Tang, you think Bad Boy. Evolve is a brand that will scale globally. We're gaining traction. We're in the market. We have 190 plus athletes. We invited 30. They took it to another level. We had to slow down. This is private data, slow down. But 84% engagement rate. We have athletes, former athletes, donating contracts because they know what we're building. We've been paid for athlete reviews. 100% of them have had agents and representation. We've had 1,600 plus salaries donated. We've had athletes showing up willing to do what it takes to get this off the ground. That is what we're building, and that's why we have an advantage. But key partners, we already have pilots lined up with player associations. We have these micro networks that we talked about where we'll be piloting going into the next quarter. We are launching our official first contract with agents and player contracts in 2 months. That will be our first release where we'll launch, and we believe it's only going to grow from there. Cash rules everything. Dollar bills, y'all know that. So, in order to make this thing work, we're talking AI here. It's not cheap. 400K on the safe note is what we're looking for. 25% of that has already been committed. We're ready to close this thing. It's an opportunity on your hands. It's an opportunity to be on the right side of history. And guess what? Then we can empower athletes one contract at a time. But if you don't have the capital, connections are capital. And that's very important to us because we believe what we're building and it's only a matter of time. So, are you going to join us? Because there's one thing I know to be true. Nothing going to stop us but